We are online now. Oh, sorry, we are live now. Can one of you check if we are live?
It's not live for me at least.
Let me check.
Oh, it is now. Yes, live.
Are we?
Yeah.
Perfect. How many people are watching us?
3, of which I am one.
And four, I am the other one.
I love the support.
Okay.
You can start.
Okay.
Firdosh.
Let's start because we obviously know a lot of people watch this later. So, hello everyone. We are back again. I guess this is our seventh AMA session we are doing. Yeah, we are late for this month, but we made sure that we come here and speak to the community as we promised that we will be doing this. I'll give quick updates on what's going on, and then we'll take questions from the community. Um, as per the last AMA that we did, we promised that we will be delivering on the two websites that we did. One is a Drive Taxi website, which is specifically to operations, and you'll start seeing a lot about the Bangalore operation for that specific on that specific site. You'll also see number of downloads, and we'll try to update it as soon as often as possible so you guys can see how many downloads we have for driver riders and how many ride requests that we're getting. So that's something that you can see in the taxi website. Apart from that, we also made the Drive.io website updated. So now it is very specific to DRF. Everything related to DRF is visible on that website. We added the vesting link there, so investors can access that directly from the Drive website. There is a new application form for franchisee also. So if you see now, we have changed how the franchisee onboarding process will look like. So if you're someone who is interested in getting a franchise or applying for the franchisee, there's a form that you need to fill in, which will get evaluated by your team, and then the team will get in touch with you for the next process. We already did that with 3 different teams who reached out to us through our application, and we have already spoken with them, and they are in the second phase of the franchisee. So it's a 6-step process if you look into the website. We also did some hiring for the franchisee side where we have a team who is taking care of all the requests that comes in. And as you know, we also did one research partnership with Bocconi research students who also does a lot of market research for us when there is a new franchisee request that comes in. So those are the students who help us with understanding the market dynamics for that specific franchisee that we are working on. Apart from that, we have progressed a lot when it comes to our Bangalore operation because that's the most important part of what we're trying to achieve at Drive. The good thing is the day one when we started in November 20th, we started with 25 drivers, and today we have 2,000 plus signups in the application. And Surya will tell you more about how we have progressed on that, and Mudit will tell you how we are working to convert this pilot now into a full scaling and having drive across Bangalore now. So that's there. We also trended on crypto.com last week, so that's good. I guess we are getting more attention, and what we need to do as a whole, like not only us but community also, is like support the cause of what drive is, irrespective of just thinking about DRF as a token, because there's a better cause and a bigger cause we all are working for. So if we as a community can start speaking about what drive stands for and not just DRF, it will get us more attention than we can actually think for. So that's something we are also trying to achieve, where we can get through larger audience and speak about who we are and why we are very different from anything that exists in the crypto and the blockchain space. Now I'll let Surya to give you more update on the ops side, and then Mudit.
Yes, thank you, Firdosh. So from the previous AMA today, it's been almost maybe 20-25 days or 30 days. The response from drivers has been tremendous. Like it's been 5 days. I closed the all driver applications because our vendor called Better Place, who verifies the driver's profile, failed to do because of lot of influx which we are, giving to the driver. So the response has been tremendous. We have seen we are visible in Instagram, Facebook, and many other digital platforms also. So, and personally, the drivers, whoever you, if you are in Bangalore and you get to interact, like get to get a cab and interact with the driver, the response have been tremendous, and we have some of our partners silently spoke to the drivers about the opinion of cabs and everything. It's going good. It's going good, and drivers are very happy with the system. And like Firdosh said, this is for a cause. This is for the betterment of drivers community. So yes, let's fight for this cause. And coming to the riders part, we almost have some 4,000 to 5,000.
5,000 plus.
Okay, 5,000 plus signups have been happened, and almost 4,000 riders. We at a point of time there are almost 2,000 to 2,500 drivers, riders interacted in Drive's platform. So the response have been tremendous. So and we already have another 10,000 drivers who are on the waiting list. Maybe by financial year one, end of the financial year one, we will be visible everywhere in Bangalore. That's going to happen, and no one is going to stop that. So, I think all we have to do is gather more courage to fight the big players. Yes, I agree. There will be a lot of things which are going to happen. That too, in a city like Bangalore, the competition is very, very strong. But yes, I think we are going to do it this time. Maybe by end of the first financial year.
Yeah. So financial year is like, guys who
Oh,
don't understand, for
sorry.
us ends for
Yeah,
India, it
second
ends
quarter.
in March 2022. The first financial year will get over, and that's what Surya was speaking about. Like,
Yes, yes. Apologies,
okay,
apologies.
by March end, we'll see us more visible. Specifically, if you're in Bangalore, you'll see. If you have, we also saw some member from the community made the review video when they met a driver. So from that also you can understand that drivers are able to understand that value that we are giving to the drivers. They understand why we are very different from other platform. So we really appreciate someone who did that video, review video for us, and we would like to see. We will also try to get more review videos from our drivers and riders, so the community knows how the people who are actually started using Drive platform feels about the platform. um, and the next thing, I guess Surya missed it also, like, is about the scaling thing that we're doing, that, converting the pilot now into the full scale launch. We are also working on increasing the geofencing, covering the whole of Bangalore, because as of now, we are not yet serviceable in whole of Bangalore. Bangalore itself is a very big city, so we were only serving in the south of Bangalore, and now working to open up the geofencing and slowly and gradually, accepting all the rides across Bangalore. So now Mudit will give you updates on how we are working on scaling the application and converting the pilot into the full scale launch.
Yeah, thank you, Firdosh. So I think Surya gave you a good insight about the operations and about how we are scaling up on that front. And I've been working very closely with Surya and his team, so along with the tech team out here, and we faced the blunt of sort of skyrocketing user onboarding. Like, people are just getting onboarded very quickly, and I think Surya mentioned that our KYC partners actually crashed because of the influx of drivers that we were sending to their system. We were also involved because we also had to help them fix issues. So we've been, I think, been working on scaling up the application. We made a lot of hires. We've onboarded a technical architect, and we've also onboarded people to help us on the product side. Um, and now we are focusing on scaling up the entire backend infrastructure, making sure that it is able to withstand, let's say, about 1,000 rides every moment, and about 5 to 10,000 rides per day. So that's kind of what the target looks like. And so appropriately, accordingly, we are scaling up our entire backend infrastructure. And yeah, a couple of major things that we've been working on is, first of all, we've worked on the onboarding flow, helping the operations team and supporting them while we onboard drivers and help them fix issues if they face anything. And apart from that, we've been working majorly on promotional activities, I mean, along with the business team, of course. And we are building features to roll out different varieties of cashbacks, vouchers, promo codes, and such facilities that allow people to experience the drive ride for the first time and get a feel of it, and play around with the application. And it also helps us expand, get a lot of good inputs, get a lot of good feedback from users. So yeah, apart from that, we have been working on major internal features and upgrades, which of course we'll get too technical if I delve into it. But yeah, our geolocation services and the fundamental blocks that run the app, the Drive platform, are being upgraded and being more optimized. So yeah, that's that, and we are also planning on releasing another staking pool. So we are working on building a new LP staking pool, which will hopefully go out very soon. So yeah, those are the updates from the tech side, and I think we can start off with questions that you might
Okay.
have.
I guess
So
we
we've
have
got
some
we have
questions
got
already,
some
huh?
questions from the community. So we've got two sets of questions actually. Let me pull those up. Um, all right, so let me read out the questions. The first question is from a lot of our investors. We've got that through D, so I'm going to read out the questions, and whoever wants can answer from us.
Hmm.
So, any updates on exchanges? Can you definitely say we will have new exchanges before the end of March, Firdosh?
Yes, we are already working on it. It's obviously happening in Q1. So, as promised, you'll see an exchange listing before this quarter ends.
Yeah. Pancake swap liquidity is very low. Is this a concern, and how would you address it? Yes, it is a concern. And we are working on, as I said, we are working on releasing an LP pool, which is hopefully going to stabilize the liquidity, increase the liquidity, and stabilize the buy and sell prices so that users can trade without much slippage. And along with that, we're also in talks and in discussions internally to figure out if we can also inject some liquidity ourselves into the pool. All right, third question. In the past, you briefly mentioned looking into continuous staking for Drive. Is this still a possibility? And if so, when may we expect it? It is a possibility, but
It is a
um,
possibility, but we are putting it on the back seat because
yeah,
now we will be very soon announcing the Bangalore franchisee, as we said, because operations are already live. So for that, the NFT and the staking is being announced, and which is way better than any other staking you can be part of. But we will do it in due course. So there is something which goes all the time, so you don't have to come to us and ask for new staking, but that's something we'll do, but I'll not give a timeline on it because our priority now is the franchising staking.
yeah. Will you guys need more capital to fund expand operations in the future? If so, how do you plan to raise it?
So as of now, how the roadmap looks like, we are good for next 6 months. Although we have a lot of interest from people who wants to be part of the equity fundraise, we are still looking at how do we do the next round because we have three options in place. One is obviously doing an equity, second is doing a hybrid round, which is equity plus token, and the third is token round. So we are figuring that out, like what is the best that will suit us. But for sure, for next 6 months, we are not raising anything because we are good for 6 months, and we're planning on the raise, which will happen after 6 months.
When is the Bangalore expected to launch fully? After Bangalore, what specific cities are being considered for the next potential launch?
So Bangalore, we also already said that we are already started working on converting this pilot into the full launch. And it will eventually happen that, there is no specific timeline, because I guess we are already in that mode. We have already entered into that
Yeah,
mode where the pilot is converting. It's a
it's a
gradual
gradual
process, and
transition that is going
transition.
to
It won't
happen. There's no
happen in a
fixed
day.
date.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah. So we'll say like, okay, today we have converted it into a full launch. It is happening. It's already happening, I'll say.
yeah.
But apart from Bangalore, Delhi and Mumbai are the two cities for which we have also received a lot of interest. We are figuring it out how much it makes sense, and what point it makes sense to announce those franchises in place. There are some other cities, as I mentioned, also like with the change in the franchisee application process, we are doing
A lot
a
of
lot of due
cities from
diligence
across
also.
the globe.
Across
A
the
lot
globe,
of,
exactly. It's a
yeah.
very big cities also for which we have request in place, and drive presence in those city will bring a lot of attention to us. So we are doing everything we need to do, be it the due diligence or working closely with them to make sure that how do they work on the launch plan of drive in that specific city is already in place. And in due course, when the time is correct, you'll know the names
Yeah.
of the next city we are going.
So as of now, we've got some compliance issues because of which we cannot like give out a lot of details, but we have some MOUs in place, and
Exactly.
a lot of things are being worked upon internally, and we will we will release them as and when the time comes. All right. How is the franchisee dashboard coming along? It is coming along well, and we've been working on that internally. Apart from the other dashboards that we have, like our admin dashboard, which is going to be used for managing and for tracking, for sending out notifications for a lot of things. Similarly, we are also working on the franchisee dashboard. Firdosh, any?
On the franchisee dashboard, yeah, there are certain things that we are working on, and in a week time, you'll also see a blog post about what do you expect, what you can expect out of the franchisees taking, how it will look, what information access you will have. So basically, the idea is that it will not be a basic 10 million pool that we thought of doing, because it's a first franchisee, and if we only do a profit sharing, it won't be something that will get a lot of attraction, because obviously we cannot be profitable tomorrow with Bangalore franchisee. So we'll have a standard APY along with profit sharing of 10% that we said for this franchisee. And this basically this is how we are designing franchisee staking also, is that people who will be participating in the staking for that specific city will also get to participate in discussions for that city operation, will also have access to very basic details of how many rides are happening, how many drivers we are getting, what promotion campaigns we are running. So that will be your place to see everything about that city, your access to that specific city where you have staked in already. So you get all full report for that franchisee. So it's going to be a comprehensive dashboard which will not just involve you staking DRF and able to get rewards out of it, but a place where you'll be able to interact with people who are also managing the operation and suggest any thing that you would like to see getting implemented.
Yeah. So the next question is, when will FNFT for Bangalore be open to the public?
So the FNFT for so that as I said, that's a comprehensive dashboard that we are working, and I cannot say it will be something that will be available at least in a month time. It's gonna take some more time, but we'll obviously share what can you expect out of franchisee, so you keep yourself ready when we announce it.
All right, that is all of questions from D and investors. So I think we've got some questions from Shailesh. So, team, how are you showing the money raised by you through token sale in your financial statements? How are you complying? Basically, what is the financial
So
disclosures?
basically, the company that we have, which is in Saint Lucia, through which we raise the funds, we are yet to close the books of Saint Lucia. So for now, I cannot tell anything. But once the financials are closed and we have filed, you that is an information that will be publicly available for everyone. So it's a complicated process also to how do you actually declare the money that you have raised through the token sale, which we are already working with the compliance team.
Yeah. Who are the big investors with the company, PE, VCs, or any fund houses? So we've not raised equity, as we said, and we are
Yeah, the
in
only
near
token
future.
sale is what we did, and
Yeah.
all the investor names are already visible in the website. So those are the investors who invested in the token sale. Apart from that, we don't have equity investors in place. And as I mentioned, it's 6 months when we will think about doing another round.
What is the plan to publish daily rides on the website and revenues and things like that?
I said that it will be linked, every city will be linked to the franchisee page and franchisee dashboard, where you will be able to see all those information. And about the revenue that people ask, one thing that I want to clarify here is the revenue that's been made by driver and the fare that is being paid by rider is something that has nothing to do with how much we will earn, because we don't have a profit motive. We don't charge anything from the fare. So we will start earning when we'll start taking the subscription free from drivers. As of now, it's a free trial that we are giving to drivers, which means we haven't charged anything from drivers. And the plan is like in from April we will start charging the subscription fees, and that is something that will be our revenue. That will be the revenue that we will be sharing with you. So that's something that you should be interested in, and that will, but we don't have information on it yet because we haven't got anything from the subscription yet.
Yeah. Um, how many investors, PE, VC, or any fund houses exited from the company? Zero, because zero entered. Uh, what Daniel is doing and Singaporean scientist.
So,
Um,
Daniel, I already spoke about. Daniel works on the franchisee piece of it. Daniel is also helping us to understand, how do we scale operationally, politically, and, other issues that one can face when you scale from a level where we are very small to a level when we are talking now about 10,000 drivers. And what basically, this is what I go and talk to him, is like what can potentially go wrong if we do scaling at that level. So he comes in at those points where we need his expertise from what he has done before in his past.
yeah. And we are no longer working with the Singaporean scientist. We are looking for someone who can help us on that front. So if you are someone who fit the bill, do reach out to me.
Yep.
How will you manage future funding requirements? Any capital
We have,
planning or is progress?
we
You
have
already
already
answered that.
spoke.
Yeah.
Or maybe this person is interested in giving us money and he has these questions.
Shalish, if you have funds, please send them our way as well. How many drivers exited from the company since joining? Surya, do you want to take that one?
So far, I think less than 2%, maybe because we are only operating in one particular part of the city. So drivers
Yeah.
are comfortable here. Maybe once we go pan Bangalore, we can see the attrition. But right now, there is less than 2%, I can say.
And maybe that's because we are a good platform, no?
Yeah. All the drivers want to be a part of Drive ecosystem,
Yeah.
then leaving the Drive ecosystem.
So
Yes,
Surya is
yes,
just
yes.
too modest.
Selling the USP is what is the key right now.
Yeah.
Correct. All right. Okay. So at present, drivers might not be earning their desired incomes. What is the company doing for them to stay with the company till final launch? Before anyone answers, I just want to say that uh, they are actually earning a good bit because they're not paying any commission. They're not paying any subscription. So whatever they earn is what they deserve, but they've not been receiving in other centralized platforms. So they have
Exactly.
been earning a good bit, and we're not charging anything out of the fares, and also otherwise through subscription or platform fees. So
I
yeah,
just want to add one more point to Mudit. In fact, we are adding an additional amount of 25 to 50% of
Yes,
the
we are
rides share, and
incentivizing drivers at
yes,
this
correct.
point where they can accept more and more rides. The only thing
mm,
that I can say is like obviously they're not receiving as many as rides they would have been accepting with other platforms. So the number of ride requests they get, but now they're also independent enough. They also work with other platforms
mm,
because they are
Yeah,
their livelihood is dependent on it, but they earn more than any other platform with Drive. With if you compare ride by ride, so if there's a ride of 200 rupees with another platform and so 200 rupees with Drive, this driver from Drive gets more because he gets the whole money as
and
compared to
not
other
just whole
platform.
more, as of now more.
Whole
So
more,
yeah,
and we are already also adding incentive on every ride. So driver
correct.
get to an incentive every ride as well.
Yeah, and which is probably another reason why we see a very less percentage of drivers exiting the platform.
Yeah.
So this also contributes to that. All right. What's your operating cost till now, and how are you people managing?
So I guess operational cost is basically it's a combination of the human resource cost and the marketing cost that we incur. How we are managing it, we raised funds, and that's how we are managing it.
Yeah. Um, how are you people managing? We are managing well.
We are
Uh,
we feel like we are managing it well. So if I'm saying we don't need money for next 6 months, you should be assured that we have enough funds to run for next 6 months. So we are managing it well.
number of people employed till now and future capacity building to meet the demand. We've fought about 40 people now.
40, 40 plus we are already. So we are seeing a lot of hiring that these two guys keep
Yeah,
on doing every day. So
it's a
yeah,
competition going on here.
it's a competition between tech and ops team where, every day I see a lot of hiring happening, which is really good. We are expanding very rapidly, and I guess very soon we'll be 50 plus employees, and let's see.
all right. As per Uber driver, they get 2x, 4x during peak hours. Though Uber charge commission but also give higher income, what other USP Drive will have to lure more drivers and customers? Ultimately, final consumer matters. So, Salesh, um, you should check out our white paper if you already haven't. Also, our website if you already haven't. We have like our key USP is basically trying to solve for this problem that although Uber does levy a 2x, 4x, 3x surge pricing, or a 2x, 3x, 4x prime time pricing, or it can come with any names and any flavor by different such companies. But at the end of the day, the amount that is passed on to the driver, even amid such surcharges, are not the same, right? So they did not just deduct the commission; they deduct also a good chunk of the surcharged fare. So which is incorrect, because I mean, of course it is incorrect. I do not need to go into why it is incorrect, and which is
Mm.
where we are different. We have a unique patent pending uh, fair dynamic pricing model and ride allocation model, which uses some sort of a bi directional auction, or some sort of a negotiation model to come up at a price which optimizes the revenue for the driver and also gives convenience to the passenger. So this is what our USP is. This is what lures most drivers and also consumers, because ultimately we also understand that final consumer matters.
Yeah, you should also read the blog that we wrote about the negotiation model. So
Yeah,
please go
yeah.
read that because that's where we are solving those issues.
Actually, that blog is the best place to read about this, because that contains all of this condensed
Yes. Mm.
and in a very focused form. So yeah, you should definitely check it out. Um, okay, so token losing value by the day. How are you going to convince existing investors who are at losses and future fund houses, angel investors?
So I guess, it's a very unfortunate time to also speak about the price because everything else is also going down. So I would not like to discuss more on the price at this point. And I keep telling the same thing on all the AMAs that we do, that, we are here for the long term, and it is all very dependent on franchisee startings. So you have to wait for the franchisee to start operating, the franchisee's takings to go live. Till that time, I can only say, like, I'm doing my best. But if you're someone who's losing interest, this is your loss, no one else's loss. And if you want to sell it, if you are someone who sold the token, it is your loss. That's it.
And if you want to sell, go ahead.
Yeah, we
I
can't
just want
stop
to add
anyone.
one.
If you want to sell, you can also sell it to us. We'll also buy.
So, I mean, adding to Firdosh's point, people who are involved with Drive, I can safely bet on this. We all are pioneers of a revolution, including whoever have like invested. So, I can only say one thing: we have to stay tuned and support the platform. Your support makes us grow stronger and stronger. Yes, there are so many people who are pulling us back, like I can see in the YouTube chat also, but and I can see the support more. So think of it as an revolution and first step toward the future and count on it. I assure Firdosh have better things to do and Mudit have better things to plan here. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a question about franchisee request. I think we've answered that. Why not hiding any crypto influencer on YouTube and Twitter to
I guess
publish and market Drive?
we already have Twitter influencers in place. If you go and check about the mentions of Drive, we have a lot of impression, a lot of mentions, a lot of verified accounts speaking about Drive. And we need to understand this. This is gonna take time. In one day, nobody's gonna understand like Drive is a very different platform, because we are living also in a world where people are so much consumed with virtual reality of metaverses and NFT. Like, really, it feels so sad to be someone who's still standing and trying to build something in the real world. And we are the only people who are doing that at this point of time. Like, I can tell you, among every conferences and everywhere I went, I am the only person who's building something for the real world, because at this point everyone else is building this, virtual reality and metaverses. Nothing against it, but when there's a hype about something else in the world, it is so difficult to create your own space. And we really don't want to create a space because we just created some hype about us. We are a real product. Even if this hype about NFT, DeFi, metaverse will go away, like how it happens every 6 months, there is something new. Drive is gonna stay. So we are creating value for longer run.
All good things take time.
Yeah.
All right. So I think the last question that we have is, what is your break even?
We haven't break even yet. We are just putting in all the money. As I said, we haven't even started taking the subscription fees. So,
Yeah,
guys, when we will
it
break
took
even, will
it took Uber 10 years, 12 years, 12 years to
yeah,
actually
10
break
plus
even.
break even. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a long road. All right, let's go out to live chat questions. These were all the questions that we had from investors and on the group beforehand.
Couple of questions redirect to me. Can I take them first?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure, sure.
Surya, please.
Yeah, I mean, to me as in operations. So, yeah.
Oh,
That's why we
yeah.
have you here, Surya, now on the call, so you can take up the
Mhm.
questions.
Let's go from the top, right? Let's go from
Top,
the
yeah,
top.
we can go from the
Uh,
top.
All
yes.
I
right.
guess Rajesh is,
So,
thank you, Rajesh, for your support.
Yeah.
And I guess the question he's mentioning, William, I don't know what he wrote because we can't read it.
mm,
Asif says we have forgotten about token and investor. If we did, we would not be sitting here and talking to you guys. So we haven't.
all right. Where are you with the Drive app? On your website, you claim having 2,500 plus drivers, but the app seems to be malfunctioning and offline. App development was in your roadmap Q1, Q2 of 2021. That's correct. App development was in your roadmap, in our roadmap, sorry, and it is still, we're still working on the app. That was when the app development was initiated, and the app development still continues till date. If you find any bugs or any issues with the app, if there is any malfunctioning or if there is anything that is an unexpected behavior, do write to us, do raise a ticket, and we will look into that and try to resolve that. Yeah, so the app is still in development. We are still ironing out the the major issues, the minor issues, and still adding more and more features for a better experience for users like yourself. So yeah.
So I guess it's an
Uh,
ongoing process also. You never like, okay, it's done and you'll never go back and look at, what can be improved or what can be added. So there are a lot of features that
yeah.
we are working to keep adding, and there are a lot of issues that keep coming on. So no app is 100% perfect app from day one, and we're just two
Yeah.
months old.
And if that were to be the case, then I would be unemployed. So I'd rather that I quit my job. Yeah.
And we have almost team of 10 people testing the app day in and day out, like reporting every minor bug which is coming across. And we are calling every single customer who got a successful ride, who are not able to finish the ride. We are calling each and every customer and taking their feedback. We are calling every driver who got the driver, who like a customer booked and asked him about the experience, about the platform
Mm.
and how is it going. And we are creating a whole good ecosystem of CRM which is very highly efficient. And we are planning to solve each and every problem that persists very soon. Yeah. And as Mudit said, and Firdosh said, every app have a, it's a continuous evolution.
It's a
It's not a one day thing. Yeah. So,
Yeah, and also need to understand like just building app and just giving it away is not what we are doing. We are not a digital application that, just put it on the cloud and people start using it and, your job is over. We are building customer support, customer experience team, team who works day and night with the driver team. So there's a lot that goes around, not just the app development.
Right. Okay. So next question from Shine. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but one of our core investors. Which all areas in Bangalore is Stripe covered? Surya, you want to take that up?
yeah. So we are primarily focused on South Bangalore. That's Jayanagar, JP Nagar. I mean, I don't know how many people knows the locations here. I can tell you the locations: Jayanagar, JP Nagar, Indira Nagar, Kormangala, and mostly core South area. And we are planning to expand in a phased manner by what is that figure? Q1, Q2. I'm not sure. Financial year, first financial year. I'm sorry.
Q2 of
Q2,
2022, where we are
Q2. Okay.
planning to open up all the places in Bangalore. But the
Yes.
good part is like, we are making right requests for those specific location. Like even I was doing that when I was in another call with the marketing team because I'm not in Bangalore. So I tried booking a ride from a specific location in Bangalore to and fro, and I got a driver who was like 5 minutes away from that location. So, there's an acceptance rate. Drivers are accepting your rides for those specific area. We are seeing on an average how many online drivers, Surya?
Um, I think we have 500 like at this point of time in the evening at 5:45.
Yeah, so the number of drivers who stays online in the platform is also increasing day by day. So there are steps of, achieve. There are milestones that we also have to personally achieve when it comes to the whole ride journey, from making sure that the driver understands the platform, knows how to go online, offline, stays online, counter code for the ride, accept the ride. So this is a different milestones that we have to achieve, and which we are in the right direction now. I was hoping you could tell us where you are on the progress of the app. I guess progress of the app we already
I think
spoke
it's the same
about,
question
and
we spoke about.
same question, yeah.
Right. So someone has invested in November 21 and lost all his money. May God be with you. Uh, Asif, they have
I
forgotten
guess
about
you
the
never lose unless and until you sell is where you lose. So if you
yeah,
have sold it all, I am sorry, that is your biggest loss that you sold the other.
yeah, and um,
Um,
okay, no commission from drivers. That's game changer. Thank you. Mm, so someone's willing to hold a token for 10 years. Hardik, you should learn from them.
And
and
the guy who's holding 5 million DRF is like, you should wait for the franchisee staking and, stake all your DRF for the first franchisee that we are opening up for the staking. So it will be very exclusive franchisee, and it will give very exclusive rights and access to the Bangalore franchisee than any other franchisee, because this is the only franchisee which is under us. So we will be able to give a lot of access for Bangalore franchisee.
And I just want to. I'm seeing some of the comments. Most importantly, a person called Hardik. Hardik, if you're really sad about losing your $1,000, yes, so are many other people. I would love if you come and support the community, and like we'd love to hire you as a community manager. Come and join us.
I would
Work
definitely,
together.
it most definitely not. It most
Yeah.
definitely not.
So are we also
So
doing
so.
hiring and hiring on the
Hmm,
AMA? But yeah, whoever you are, we have seen,
hmm,
you
hmm,
commenting across
hmm.
everywhere and trying to create fun. You think if it helps you to get like satisfaction because you lost some of your $1,000, keep doing it. What I can say is like we will keep doing what we're expected to do, and this is the first and the last time we are talking about it, and after that
Got
we'll
you,
just
yeah.
abandon you.
And yes, yes. And Hardik, you never lost. You never lost your 1,000. You
Only
Unless
see.
you
if you have
sold, which
sold it.
is, yeah.
If you
Yeah.
sold it, yes, you lost it. That is your
Hmm.
loss. But if you feel this is what is gonna give you satisfaction, keep doing it. This is the last time we are speaking about you, and we are abandoning you now.
Okay. That's Firdosh with most of the guys. So, all right, moving on. Expanding the services to Bangalore Airport is a must. Yes, we agree it is a must.
Yes,
It is very hard to get a cab to the airport. Very well understood. That is true, and we are working on that. As we said, we don't want to rush it up, and
exactly.
Surya, along with his team, is actually chalking out a well-defined expansion plan where we are going phase by phase and not rushing into places and not rushing into junctures where what we cannot afford and what we cannot sustain at this time. So it's
Yes.
being done very
Exactly.
thoughtfully. Yeah.
So I guess first
Hmm.
we'll
Keep.
start with dropping to airport, and at the third, I guess in the second stage we'll allow people to get
Correct.
dropped to airport, and the third stage where we'll allow people to get picked up from the
Picked
airport.
up from. Correct. Exactly.
And we might sound whatever is going on in operations part is so hunky dory. No, we are taking a lot of heat right here. I just fought with a couple of my teammates and came here and taking the call with a smile.
Yeah. Okay. Once you guys are able to dominate the taxi 3.0, please focus on Uber Eat. Yes, we will eat Uber.
No, no, yeah, Uber.
All right. Use single staking pool. We have an LP
We
staking pool
said
coming
LP
soon. Yeah.
staking pool.
Do you have any plans for marketing yet? No, none. Any plans to pitch
So
for
there are
Shark
two
Tank
plans.
India season 2?
Come
No.
on, Mudit.
Whoa.
I guess I'm very sure about the fact that we're not going and speaking on
Yeah.
any of
Yeah.
these
Yeah. Yeah.
places.
You although
We're
might see
not.
Firdosh as one of the sharks very soon.
Ha.
So,
She is the Asli shark.
okay. How
How
long do
long
you
do you
envision?
envision that you will go global? Example, Africa. Africa is a country that we already are in talks with. There are people who have showed interest specifically to start with Nigeria because of the economy of Nigeria. Also, now a lot of people, use cryptocurrency because of the problems with their currency, and we have interest in place with whom we are already in talks with. But it's a physical thing, and I keep saying this takes time. So yeah, we do have interest in place for Africa and other countries as well. So you'll know when the time is correct about those franchisees.
Hi Firdosh. From past 1 month, it's visible that DRF is doing Twitter marketing. Quite happy with it, but please kindly look into Messari and Delphi
Sorry, and
Digital.
that when digital with the project needs to tied up. Messari is something that even I have been suggested for specifically for the governance part of Drive, where we'll bring in governance for different franchisee, and we are already looking into. Delphi Digital, we know they do. I guess we already were looking at it more than few weeks back, where we shared details of them, where they help at different aspect of the project. But yeah, uh, we are working on. Also, let you the article in Masari and Delhi Digital will held better than 100 influencer too. We will look
Yeah.
into it and see how we can get engaged. If it is something that's very powerful, we'll do that.
Dear Surya, are you also planning for adopting auto and bikes into DRF platform? I think, yes, Surya.
Yeah, I
Um,
saw one post somebody shared with me, and like it was an auto post and said like, are you also thinking what we are thinking? But I don't know. I haven't seen it live yet, but I think there's something.
We are working on that, and that is being developed.
Yes.
yeah.
All right. Is
So
there a
there is a
limit to
limit
how
on
much
how
you can work
you
with
can work
Drive?
with Drive. There is
So,
no limit to how
no,
much
there
you
are
can work.
there are there are some limits that are put in by regulatory bodies. So you cannot work beyond a certain number of hours per
Oh,
day.
I thought like you as an employee. I said like
No,
as an
I
employee we
as far
make
as I
people
understood,
work 24/7.
Mhm. So let's
that's
give both the
definitely not
cases.
something you should
Let's give
say.
both the cases. Yeah.
That's definitely not something you should. Uh,
Yeah, we don't make people work. Like people at DRIFERs, so into that they keep working.
So
okay.
Government
But
of
I guess
India gives
RTO
an
has 12 hours. 12 hours the
no.
maximum a driver can
I
stay
think yeah. And most and he have to take mandatory 8 to 10 hours of break every single day.
break.
Otherwise, the
Yes.
platform
Yeah,
will be the one who will be charged. Yeah.
I
correct.
guess there is something where the government also says like after 12 hours of logged in into your system, you have to forcefully make driver offline, which we are also doing every midnight where we make all the drivers forcefully go offline from the system.
Yeah. So next feedback by Thanish. I think we've spoken also, and he suggested on becoming the first fully green ride-hailing platform. And yes, we are actually working on that. In
Yes.
fact, on the background and on the side, not sure on the background or on the side, but we are working on something which is very revolutionary,
Yes.
which will bring in a lot of such features and a lot of uh, especially with green mobility and introducing uh, blockchain fundamentals into that. So like a lot of tokenomics goes into that, and we are actually designing that. But that is slightly down the future. Maybe end of this year is probably a
Yes.
good time to think about that.
Exactly.
But that is definitely in the plan, and I have well received your feedback, and we are working on that. Okay, so how is the adoption going in Bangalore? I think we've spoken about that. It's going well. Deepen wants to know your roadmap doesn't mention any plan to list the DRF and tier one exchanges. Please advise if there are any such plans. Um, the DRF will be
We kept
listed on a centralized
listen.
exchange, but
Yeah, we
we
kept
will
saying
not
that
disclose. Yeah,
the
I mean
name,
tier
and
one,
you'll know
tier
it
two.
when
Yeah,
tier two. Yeah, we said like there's
yeah,
a listing happening in Q1 for sure, so you know that.
yeah. It's probably not on the roadmap, so I think
Hmm.
he's
Hmm.
correct. It's not on the roadmap, but yeah, the community knows this. Okay, monthly operational costs is how much? It depends on the
It's
month.
variable.
It
Yeah.
depends
Right?
on the
Because
month. Like as I
yeah.
said, like last time when we came, we said like January was not a great month for us because of the lockdown in place, and how we're trying to look at different aspect of the project. But yeah, it fairly is about the numbers that we are looking at and the targets that we are achieving.
Okay. Next up, how will a drop in token price affect a crypto winter and a crypto winter affect the overall strength of the project? Holders will hold, fudders will fud, and sellers will sell. I don't know.
Sell, yeah, but I guess overall, it is not impacting us as a project because we very well know how we are positioned with the operations, what we want to achieve with Drive as a project as a whole, and as I always say, Drive is not just about DRF. So if you are limiting your thoughts about Drive with just okay, it's DRF and it's only cryptocurrency, that's where you're going wrong.
How soon can we
Uh,
expect Drive to launch? Sorry, Surya.
no, nothing. I just want to say Taylor Swift got into you for a couple of seconds. Hold on.
Okay. I had it
Very
like
soon.
the other way around. But okay. Um, how do you wait? Where are we? How soon can we expect Drive? Surya, you got it now, is it? Okay. Right. How soon can we expect Drive to launch in another country? Soon.
Soon.
How will the rewards of the franchisee work? How will the operation profits be shared?
So, as I
And
said,
talking
next
about
week you will read about franchisee, everything that you need to know about
Yeah.
franchisee staking, and it will answer all your questions. I won't tell you now. You have to wait and read the article that we are publishing about it.
How much are the
yeah, and
drivers?
Ashwin, talking
Sorry.
about your question, how soon we can expect to launch another country? Maybe in a couple of months, Firdosh will have a news for you that is assured. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. How much are the drivers paying in USD monthly? Zero US
Zero.
dollars, because as of now we're not on a
Not
subscription plan.
charging.
It's all free. Yeah. Surya, Mudit, would you be able to add QR code on the cabs or at yes, yes, that's a great advice. So I
I
think
guess
we've
we're already
discussed
working
this.
on cab. We're
Yeah.
already doing it on
So
the
so basically the
cabs.
suggestion that Shine, I'm not sure how you pronounce this, Firdosh. Do you know how to pronounce his name?
Shine.
Shine, is it? I'm not
It's
sure though.
shine.
Yeah, it spells as Shine, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Anyhow, yeah. So the feedback is that we should have QR codes at inside the cabs and at digital bus stops where people can download the apps using those QR codes. And I think
We
we've
also
been
have our QR code in few different locations already, Surya, is
yes,
it?
yes,
Like some
yes.
of the PGs and places where I saw we have our
So
QR code
you
already.
can see Surya going around the city and putting in posters and putting in a lot of QR codes across the city. So yeah, we
Yeah.
are also doing that.
How much
Okay.
percentage dilution from your initial investment? I don't understand this question. What are you asking? Our investments, we invested a lot initially till the time we did a token sale. So we were working on Drive for 2 years before we actually went live with raising investments. I'm not sure what you're asking.
Which
Uh,
question, Firdosh?
how much percentage dilution from your initial investment?
I don't see that. That's a message that's probably retracted for me, so I don't see that. Next question: what is current valuation of Drive?
Even
How
though
you?
invest in DRF, end of the day, we are not part of equity. Yes, that's a valid question. That people who are only invested in DRF token are not part of equity, and that's how the franchisee plays an important role because you get to get your profit sharing. At the end of the day, being an equity investor gives you access to the profit and obviously ownership in the company. But because we are not able to give ownership in the company, we came up the franchisee staking concept where you get 10% sharing in the profits of the company. So that's what the best we can do as of now. But as I said, like we are down the line in 6 months where we are still figuring out which is the best method. And if we do an hybrid raise, that's where you'll get access to equity also in the company, but nothing has been decided yet.
Okay. I wish we had Drive where I lived in when I lived in Bangalore. Okay, so Tanish lived in Bangalore, but I think he's moved to the UK. So can't
Maybe
wait for
Tanish,
you
you can
guys
apply
to.
for Tanish can apply for UK franchise. We will be happy to talk to you or get someone, convince someone to get
Yeah.
the UK franchise. Then you will be able to see Drive in UK.
All right. So he wishes us the best. Thank you, Tanish. All right. What's your average monthly cost? I think we've answered that. You misunderstood my question. Okay, so this is Zach. He says we misunderstood his question about crypto winter. I'm focused on long term and
Along.
happy to hear low token price doesn't affect the project. Okay, he's on board and will buy
Thank
as
you,
much as he
Zach.
can. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Um, okay, Surya, you can also target near the lakes for the QR code. Yeah, Surya, you'll get a lot of couples sitting there, so maybe that's a good place to market drive.
Is that what he meant?
Firdosh. Okay, Firdosh pronounced my name correctly. So it is Shine. All right. I am epic blockchain evangelist. Yes. Okay, got it. Superb. Have we got any application from Australia yet?
Yes, we
Okay.
have.
Okay, that was a good answer. Yes.
Firdosh being very cryptic right now.
Yeah. All right. So I think that is all of the questions. unless
So
anyone
yeah,
has any more.
if we have any other question, it was really nice. I guess again we did almost a 1 hour AMA session.
No, didn't answer about the cost. I want a number so I can see with when the company is in profit.
So did not answer about the cost. I want the number so I can see the companies in profit. So obviously the cost that I can tell you, I guess for now, the average cost of acquisition for drivers and riders, I guess we are around $1 for drivers because of the KYC and everything that we do for driver, and for rider is less than half a dollar. That's our cost of acquisition. So we have like close to 5,000 riders and 2,000 drivers. So you can make it for yourself. Apart from that, there's a lot of marketing costs that we do. So because we haven't expanded across Bangalore, as of now, we spend somewhere around 50 to $60,000 on an average for a a small campaign that we are running. And as soon as we open up the gate, the expense will go up.
All right. Does it work for the whole country, or do we need to apply for city? That's
Uh,
Nirmal's question. Yeah.
Yeah, so as we said, like we have got this research guys in place also, where they do research for us when there's a specific request comes in, be it a country or a city franchisee. And if you'll also go and read our white paper, it also speaks about different level of franchisee that can exist. It can be a country franchisee also, and then someone who takes up country franchisee, it will work differently than how a city franchisee
But I
works.
think for a start, it's a good idea to just focus on a city and
On a
go
city,
go
yeah.
up.
The idea
Yeah.
is we are doing only cities as of now.
Yeah. All right. Okay, that's all.
So yeah, thank you everyone for joining us today and asking your questions. We try to interact as much as possible with the community and do this session to, speak more and give your answers so you don't feel like, we are gone or something. Because I see most of the time people start speaking out of nowhere about these issues that these guys are gone or not there. You need to understand we have like real cabs running on road, so we are not going anywhere. So if somebody comes and talk about all of this, you should be careful about those kind of uh, things that people are saying in the platform. So yeah, that's what I have. And there's a lot we are working on. Like you can't even think of the kind of problems we get into and how do we resolve it and what we are doing to make sure that, we are not only known in Bangalore when we are talking about operation, but we make our own space, not just in the crypto space, but blockchain as a whole, where Drive will have its own unique identity for what we are doing. We don't have any regulatory issues. We are complying with all the regulatory issues that we have in Bangalore in place yet. So we are compliant with regulations here at least. So yeah, that's it, guys. Stay safe and keep supporting us. And we'll be back in the next month. Hopefully, you'll see three of us together in the month of March for when we'll come for the next session, because we are all traveling back to Bangalore and will be joining office from March 1st. We all went back to our homes because of the COVID Omicron variant and the lockdown that took place in Bangalore. But we are all coming back to work from first week of March. So the next session you'll see three of us together, or maybe we'll also try to show you more people who works at Drive, because there are a lot of people who is coming back to office.
Yeah. And yeah, stay safe. Pray for peace and keep your supports for countries so that they don't go at war and kill each other.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Thank you. We will
Thank you,
end
guys.
this.
Thank you. We'll talk to you guys soon. Surya, you have anything to say?
I'm good. I'm sorry there was some internet issue with me.
Thank you, guys.
All
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
right.
Take care.
Peace and
Bye.
love. Bye bye.